Well, hey, what's going on? Nick Kirby here with Chatterbox Reds. Before we get to today's interview, I want to send a special thanks to our friends at 1410 WING AM. That's ESPN Radio in Dayton. Justin Kinner was so kind to partner with Chatterbox Sports for some exclusive interviews down at Redsfest that I am really excited for you all to get to see. Be sure to check out the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. That is 3 to 6 on 1410 WING AM in Dayton. And as always, special thanks to our proud sponsor of Chatterbox Reds, DSC Commodities. DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. Thanks so much to John and everyone down at DSC for partnering here with Chatterbox Reds. All right. Well, here's to today's interview.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Nick Kirby, live here at Redsfest, Duke Energy Convention Center. They always say time flies when you're having fun. This program started at 11, and we're already down to our final portion of the show. So, yeah, time flies when you're having fun, I guess. But
yeah, this is absolutely flown by. I cannot believe it's already to our last guest of the day, but save the best for last.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, Mr. Hunter Greene, hanging
sir.
out with us.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate your time. We
appreciate
your time. Again, you're very, very popular. Everyone's been following you all over the place, and so we appreciate that you're able to sit down with us and give us a little time.
Yeah, of course.
We were talking, your first Reds Fest was back in 2017, and my eyes got big. I'm like, oh, yeah, you have been around a minute. Like, I feel like you just got here, but it's heading into 2024. It's not your first time, obviously, at Reds Fest. Just talk about the vibe of this year's Reds Fest compared to years past, and just you as you come along. Yeah,
I mean, every year is, unbelievable. I tell guys that are signed with our team or new players that get traded over, this is by far the best fan fest that anybody will ever experience from team to team and in the big leagues. So, for our new players that have come over, and we don't have any new draft picks, but just some of our new guys and 40-man guys that are here, they're blown away, and obviously we appreciate that as players, having support from the fan base, from the city, it means a lot. So I think it gives us that extra motivation going into the season, knowing that you guys are behind us and that you support us. And I know there's ups and downs that come with the season, but to see you guys continue to support us and be passionate about the game and specifically the Reds means a lot. But it's cool I love being here. My favorite thing, man, from, just sitting down and, like, hitting all the different booths is being able to see, the kids grow up too. Like, people show me pictures from, like you said, from 2017 or from 3 or 4 years ago, and now their kids, like, they have beards or they, you know what I mean? So, like, everybody's growing, and it's cool to see that. I've been going here since 2017, and so have their kids, So I love to be able to see the growth and be able to, like, connect on that level is always fun.
Let's go back a little bit. So, opening day, you were the opening day starter for the Reds. What was that like? Was that an honor for you to be opening day starter in a town that really embraces opening day like no other town does?
Yeah, man, it's, I was just talking to somebody about it the other day. I didn't know that the Reds were the first team to play for opening day. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. I didn't know that. So I'd love to get back to that. That would be awesome. But, yeah, pitching opening day was super special. And, to kind of understand the rich culture and the baseball history here in the city of Cincinnati means a lot, and we have so much talent. We have tremendous talent, specifically with our starters. So to be able to have that honor meant a lot to me.
Opening day last year, just a completely different Reds team on opening day compared to the Reds roster and team, in the final, game 162. Just thinking back to opening day, can you just how wild it is, how different how different of a season it ended up being compared to what many people had anticipated, even on that opening day?
Yeah, I already loved the team that we had going into opening day, but stuff happens throughout the season. You have injuries, you have trades, you have all these different types of movement throughout the season and with the team. So as you guys could see from the season, there were some new players that were coming in, and it was still so exciting. And I felt even an extra push of excitement and talent, coming in towards the middle to the end of the season. So knowing that a lot of those guys are returning, are going to be with us for spring training and opening day, just brings that much more excitement to the 2024 season.
Down the stretch last year in September, yeah, you had, of course, that huge start against the Minnesota Twins, a really dominant start. Do you feel like those starts that kind of had almost a playoff-type feel really helps give you a leg up going into next season?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to have more of those 14 strikeout type games. I mean, that would be awesome. But yeah, man, I mean, that atmosphere was great, and especially our City Connect nights, Friday nights, and being able to look out into the stadium and see like a sea of black jerseys and shirts is always really cool. So, yeah, I mean, being able to play in those environments, that's what we play for. We want to be in those, high-pressure situations and be in those moments because that's what we work for in the off season. That's what we work for in spring training. We don't work to just play, easier games or games where we don't feel that type of excitement or pressure, So anytime that we have that turnout from fans and we have that type of atmosphere, like you said, it gives us a little bit of that leg up, and it motivates us that much more to go out and, be the best that we can be when we cross those lines.
You're obviously super competitive. You expect to win when you go out there, but was there a certain stretch of when you guys started taking off last year that caught you by surprise a little bit, like maybe being a year ahead of schedule, or just the fact that you have all these rookies coming in, you're like, man, we're winning even with all these rookies? I mean, was there a point where you were even surprised at the way the team was playing at such a high level last year?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use the word surprised, but I knew that, and it's one of amongst a lot of reasons as why I wanted to sign the contract and be here, but I knew that we had so much talent coming into this organization and into this city and this team. So knowing that, I was like, man, of course I'd want to stay and be a part of that. So I wouldn't say surprised, but, we expect that. We expect the best out of ourselves. We have expectations, amongst ourselves, and we want to perform at the highest level. So seeing that we were able to do that and produce that type of talent and that excitement on the field, I wasn't surprised. I was like, man, I knew we were going to be able to do that. I didn't know when, right? I didn't know it was going to be that soon or that early, but it's just a great sign that, one, we have the talent, but we have the work ethic to go with it. So when you put those two together, greatness is bound to happen.
From the pitching side, when you came up, you were the top prospect. You were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. But then this year, it was on the offensive side. It was Elly Mania. What was Elly Mania like for you, seeing him come up and having that instant success that he had? Yeah,
really obviously an amazing talent. What's even better about him, he's such a great person. He's such a great teammate. He's always willing to learn. He's always asking questions. I can see his wheels, turning, and he's always thinking when he's out there, always trying to have that extra edge, even though I feel like he doesn't necessarily need an edge with all the skills that he has, but he's always looking for, that little extra, to get him to either steal a base or, to be able to be on time for a certain pitch or make a play. So when you see that from somebody that already has all the talent in the world, that there is tremendous upside, but it's just super exciting to have him on the team. For him to be a part of this organization, and I'm sure it's exciting for you guys to be able to go to the field every day knowing that you're going to see something special come from Elly and come from the rest of the team. So I love just being on the bench and just watching him do his thing. So
players outside of Cincinnati, I know you did a podcast this summer with Mookie Betts. Talk a little bit about that experience with Mookie, and is there any other players across baseball that you've kind of connected with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Mookie's a great player, another really awesome guy. But, yeah, when he reached out to me, I was like, yeah, I would love to hop on and just talk about stuff other than baseball. Yeah, there were baseball questions. There was baseball-specific, but a lot of it was, stuff off the field. And I think that's what's always fun about doing podcasts or interviews is talking about stuff that a lot of people don't see, our interests, what we love to do away from the baseball field. And Mookie did a great job with that. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other players that, are doing podcasts or want to get into it. So it's fun to do. And especially when it doesn't feel like an interview, it just feels like a simple conversation. Those are the best. So he does a really good job at that.
We get fans that call in all the time if we're criticizing baseball. So they'll say baseball doesn't do a good job of marketing their stars. And I feel like that's regurgitated a lot. And I'm just curious from a player's perspective, what do you think that means when listeners or when fans say that baseball doesn't market their stars enough? How do you perceive that? What is your takeaway on that as a player? Do you think baseball markets their players well?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of work to do, but I think the biggest thing is being able to create, that relatable feel with fans and with players. I think NBA, for example, does an amazing job with that, and they allow for players to be able to truly tell their stories. When I think of other teams, I don't really follow teams, and I'm not talking baseball, I'm talking basketball, other sports. I follow the player, right? And everybody's different. I understand loving a team, but like for me personally, I love following individual people and players, and it's usually because I can relate to them in some sort of capacity, right? So for me, that's what I love. I think MLB is doing a better job at that. But I believe that that's going to be number one, is trying to have more player fan access, which I think is always fun. I love going to the field and, seeing everybody come out and try and interact with people as much as I can during batting practice or, before I play catch or a bullpen or something like that. So I think baseball is, like I said, doing a better job, but there's little parts of the business side that they can get better at, for example, with that.
Real quick, because we just got the wrap it up, so I'll ask one or two more questions real quick. But opening day starter last year, you're viewed as the ace of the staff, and there was a lot of question marks about the staff. Obviously Lodolo coming, another year with you too. But then stars started to be developed as the season went on. How much pressure did that take off of you of knowing that, okay, there's depth now in this rotation? Obviously, there's still room to add more, of course, and pitching's been added already this offseason. But did you feel like some of that pressure was taken off you a bit as the depth of the rotation started to increase as the season went on?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, as like, oh my gosh, I have all this weight lift, because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. I can't do this alone. And there's so much talent and so many great players that we have on our team, specifically our starting pitchers. So it's great to be able to get that support and be able to have an opportunity to come together as a unit, come together as a team, and be able to produce. But, I don't know if you guys have been able to see it, but we have such great chemistry as a team as a whole, but specifically our starters, we're constantly, talking on the bench, or, we're locked in on each other's bullpens. When we throw bullpens throughout the week, we like to go and support each other and, stand in on the bullpens and be able to watch. So our chemistry and what you guys see goes well beyond the baseball field.
We have time for one more, Nick.
Yeah, so, we could definitely see that. You could feel that chemistry from afar. You just added two new pitchers this week. What's your thoughts on Martinez and Pagan coming in? And you got to meet them today so far?
Yeah, so I actually got to meet them yesterday, and they were awesome, man. I mean, very short conversation. Obviously, I haven't known them long. But from my interaction with them yesterday, seemed like really solid dudes. And, I know they're trying to get kind of like, used to the area. And kind of checking out neighborhoods and stuff, seeing where they want to stay during the season, which is all great. But yeah, obviously really fun to watch. I was talking to Martinez about his changeup and wanting to learn more from him on specifically that pitch. I'm sure maybe some other things that decide to come up during the season. But I'm always looking to get better and ask questions. And you don't take everything, right? Certain things work for you, some things don't. But if you can take little pieces and learn from them as much as you can, it's always very beneficial. So all of those guys are going to be great, but I'm looking forward to seeing who else we bring as well.
Well, we're looking forward to the upcoming season, no doubt. Hunter Greene, you're in high demand. I know they're about to pull you to your next stop, so thank you, man, so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it, man.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right.
If you like today's video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Chatterbox Sports here on YouTube for great sports content all season long. We really appreciate your support. Also recommend hit that bell up in the top right corner. That'll turn on notifications so you're notified anytime we go live. And speaking of live, we have got plenty of shows for you here on Chatterbox Sports. Let's run through some of them for you. First off, we have Off the Bench, our flagship show that is from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday, with host Tom Brenneman and a cast of characters talking all things sports with you. We also have Chatterbox Bengals. Those guys go live after every single Bengals game with instant reaction. So be sure to check that out live after every Bengals game. We have Chatterbox Clicker with Coach Kyle Caskey, former Bengals coach. That's typically on Tuesday nights. Coach Caskey breaks down film with a show that you can't see anything anywhere else like. We have Mac and JT Wednesday nights. The guys cover all things NFL. We have our newest show, Chatterbox Bearcats. That's with host Charlie Walter. Covers all things UC sports. They go live on YouTube after every UC basketball game. And then they also have the podcast called The Chatter. Charlie Walter and Houdini talking all things sports in a fun and more comedic style way. And then, of course, we also have the show I'm a part of, Chatterbox Reds. Currently during the off season, we typically do a show about once a week. Also get some more content for you. But of course, once the season starts, we'll have podcasts after every single spring training game up for in the morning, and then live shows on YouTube after all 162 games, and podcasts always available the next morning. And lastly, be sure to check out the Chatterbox shop. That is on chatterboxsports.com. All kinds of apparel for everyone. You won't want to miss that.